Hey, tubers, and welcome to the State of Joe. I'm Joe Santiago. The rat is the first sign from the 12 animals cycle of the Chinese astrology. Because it's the first sign, 2020 is considered a year of new beginnings and renewals. This year comes after the year of the Earth Pig, 2019, with all the cases against all the pigs that were abusing women and children, like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein and such, as all the allegations that came out with the Me Too movement and things like the Brett Kavanaugh hearings were taking place. Before the year of the Metal Ox 2021, this year, though, is called the Year of the Metal Rat. It started on January 25th, 2020, and ends on February 11th, 2021. It says new opportunities to find love and to earn more money will occur, which the place I work at, just in the last month or so, are paying people 17, 18 bucks an hour right off the streets to bag groceries. And for all positions, you start with that base pay. And all current part-time employees also got the pay increase. It's because of hazard pay, because of the virus. The increase is supposed to go until Labor Day. They bumped it up because of the lack of international workers, which businesses, especially on places like Cape Cod, with its major tourist season, has relied on. But with a lot of planes grounded and no flights during this time, in the middle of the pandemic, it's just not going to happen. I will say that some fellow employees that I've talked to are not too happy with their choice to increase the pay of new workers, as we are tasked with having to quickly train these new people that are making almost as much money as they are, who have put many years in at the job to reach that kind of rate of pay. Apparently, it takes a virus and risking your life to go to work to finally give people a living wage that more reflects the inflation that the average worker has been forced to endure. Trust me, when the pay rate goes back down in September, if it does, it's not going to be pretty, with massive amounts of disgruntled workers to deal with. This year is definitely a year of new beginnings and renewals. Boy, oh boy, has it been. And the world just seems like it's going through some kind of extreme, nightmarish renewal of some sort, of everything. Like reality just hit the reset button. It also says that these chances to get more money will be there for those who will take advantage of all the chances to get money appearing throughout the year. And President Trump is pushing through another stimulus check. I hope we can afford it and it doesn't come back to bite us down the road in IOUs, though. It goes on to say 2020 is quite challenging, especially health wise, but also financially with obstacles, impediments, and unpredictable situations. It says this will occur during the first half of the year. It's definitely spot on with the health challenges, with obviously the coronavirus and all the challenges that are going on with that. We will see if towards the end of July things get better with the virus. But as of June 13th, the way they're talking about 21 states have spiked since they're starting just phase one of the three-phase reopening plan the White House has, but different states have different plans. Massachusetts, for example, has a four-phase plan. Along a lot of states have had case numbers increase substantially, obviously because of the more gatherings and laxing the social distancing standards as of late. For instance, Alabama, Oregon, and South Carolina are among the states with the biggest increases. Alabama's 7-day average saw a 92% surge, while Oregon's 7-day average was up 83.8%, and South Carolina rose 60.3%. I'm telling you, This could be the big mistake that does us in, all because we are spoiled brats that have been doing whatever we want whenever we've wanted to for so long and taking things for granted that they'll always be there for us. All because we want to do what we want to do. Instead of buckling down and really going after this pandemic in a smart, patient way, no. Instead, we're going to rush through it and be in a worse situation. It's the American industrial complex capitalistic model. Rush production and worry and fix the problems later. Who cares about the catastrophic consequences? This whole situation, the horoscope says, is caused by the negative energy of the annual flying star 5. This is from Feng Shui. It's one of the 5 arts of Chinese metaphysics, classified as physiognomy, which means observation of appearance through formulas and calculations. The Feng Shui practice discusses architecture in terms of invisible forces that bind the universe, Earth, and humanity together, known as Qi, spelled Qi. It has to do with positive energy in your space or in different rooms of a house, and not having negative energy, like slamming the door of a room can be an example of negative energy, or something like bouncing a basketball can disturb things with different vibrations, or getting house renovations done at the wrong time because of the energy. Feng Shui teachers can superimpose a chart over the floor plan of your house to find out what are the problem rooms and trinkets you can carry on keychains and such to keep you having good luck and whatnot. They have daily star 5s, monthly star 5s, and yearly star 5s to make sure you are always in a good location. The annual visiting star, number 5 of flying star Feng Shui, is known as the 5 yellow. The daily and monthly star 5s change location daily and monthly, but the annual visiting star is a time star that changes location every year. It is currently the most evil star, and you should not disturb it. The annual star 5, or the 5 yellow, is also known as Wu Wang in Chinese. Wu Wang is an earth element affliction. There are 5 elements that Feng Shui divides the world into: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And by balancing these elements in a room, for example, can invoke different moods and make spaces more comfortable and beneficial for your personality and goals. However, this annual star 5, when disturbed, it brings financial loss, obstacles to success, and also obstacles in relationships, severe illness, and accidents. It's also the star of destruction and disasters, which will have a strong influence during the metal rat year. It says that during the first half of the year, you will have more free time. You will be able to rest and make plans for the future, and you will consolidate the relationship with your life partner, and you will spend more time with the kids. That's basically describing the lockdowns that are taking place everywhere right now. Plus, 2020 is under the influence also of Flying Star 2, the illness star, causing all kinds of health issues, disease, sickness, and even death. It will be a tough year for a lot of the water Chinese zodiac signs, with many hurdles throughout the year. The metal signs will face many difficult moments, and they will be forced to fight fiercely for their rights. This is describing the riots and the social injustice marches and demonstrations and anarchy taking place today. The year of the rat has its ups and downs, but nothing of worth ever comes easy. During the second half of the year, the health of the Chinese zodiac signs is supposed to be much improved, with their energy and zest for life coming back in full force. We shall see if it pans out. Right now, it's not looking like it's following that trajectory. And the horoscope ends by saying you will have a hard time when you will be put in the situation of making decisions, and don't let fear cloud your mind and soul, and to trust your intuition. This could be describing on when and not when to wear a mask, and when not to social distance, and decisions revolving around the choices we can make during this pandemic. This year of the metal rat is very relevant and significant. We are seeing all the civil upheaval and rioting with the metal guns, and some batons are metal, protective body armor, face shields, and basically other riot gear. It's trickling over to civilian life while rioters and police are wearing masks and PPE equipment themselves, and the masks and face shields worn at grocery stores and all the businesses and such, putting the meme out there of riots and unrest in everybody's psyche as it is. Plus, people are ratting each other out in major ways more than ever, with the fake outrage over people being defiant with mask wearing and social distancing. People are being called the police on over stupid things, like saying if someone comes near you at a park, they are trying to attack you. And a couple of months back, a neighbor called the police on another neighbor they heard coughing when walking by their house. This is getting pretty crazy out there. I've especially noticed observing the behavior of people at my grocery store I work in become these paranoid, timid, afraid of their own shadow kind of people. But they are actually scurrying around like confused rats stuck in a maze. It's the weirdest thing. In the grocery store, they're making these erratic movements with their grocery carts, moving in straight lines like rats in a maze. Then they go over and pick up an item and kind of observe it like an inquisitive rat would do. Then they don't buy it. They just put it back like they are indecisive and have never seen things on shelves in a grocery store before. Like it's their first time in a grocery store and they don't understand the concept. Then they stop like they're going to get something. You'll go to help them, and without saying a word, they turn around and dart off and keep following the maze until they are either forced to come to a stop because of a shopper or an employee, or they reach a rack display, wall, or some type of barrier. They move uncontrollably and are visibly irritated and, and move in a panicked manner. They stop, pick something up, circle around, pick another thing up, and put it down. They are confused. They don't even have grocery lists. They give you these blank, wordless stares, and they don't even really have any idea what they want. They walk by something, and that's when they decide they want it. They grab it. They're just pushing their carts around in a frantic panic, like scared, docile rats. It's completely insane what they are becoming. Basically, robotic rats without a conscience, without any kind of discernment, and void of thought, and basically humanity. This is what this is all doing to us. So basically, yes, this is without a doubt the year of the metal rat, and we have become the metal rats. So I have a couple of corrections to get to. That's the year of the metal rat we're in, and we're experiencing that, and we're all turning into robotic rats in these stores, and we're just it's taking away our humanity. Our humanity is disappearing. We're not human anymore. We're changing. Nothing's going to be the way it was. This is it. This is this is the turning point to something crazy and new, and it's just going to be insane. But so I have a couple of corrections to get to. I've been putting them off, trying to get to them. Kind of extensive, but uh, 2 videos ago I had some mix-ups in some of the stats for the flu season. Okay, so there was 80,000 deaths in the U.S. last winter in the 2018-2019 seasonal flu virus. I was right on the numbers, but it was in the US, not the world. The flu season starts in October and can go as late as March and even April. On April 4th, the CDC, or US Centers for Disease Control, weekly surveillance data is saying 24,000 to 62,000 it estimates have died so far, not including the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, there is room for error in the numbers. According to the Lancet Medical Journal, the previous estimate worldwide per year of flu season deaths, again, not including any pandemics, was 250,000 to 500,000 deaths. However, new figures from the CDC and other groups published on December 13th in the weekly Lancet Medical Journal, which is a world-leading journal. In 2019, they were ranked second out of 160 different journals. The CDC's new figures for deaths are revised, with new estimates at 291,000 to 646,000. So just to get a sliver of the scope of numbers that we're dealing with here. I was kind of right on the logos concept I was talking about also in that video. It did have to do with the scripture I had cited about the Word was God and the Word was with God. It also had to do with the let there be light in the beginning of the Bible. The world was void and without form. Some people say the world was in this state because of an extinction event that took place. Some say that we are in the 6th extinction of the world now, that it's been destroyed and recreated in 5 other separate Genesis creations thus far. The Logos was from the Greek, though, not the Latin, like I said. However, it had to do with the Word becoming flesh, as in the traditional story of Jesus, or Jesus incarnate, or the Spirit of Jesus taking human form and coming to dwell among the people. They did call Jesus Logos, actually, also. The Logos, or the Word, or the light, overcomes the darkness, always, like when you're in a dark room and then you see a little light, always brightens up the dark room. Hence, Jesus in the Bible is called the light of the world. Also, I said the Department of Defense is working in parallel universes. Well, it's actually the Department of Energy that's working in parallel universes. On October 5th, 2016, Dr. Ernest Moniz said, "We are working in parallel universes." Okay? He's the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Energy for the U.S. And he said, we're working in parallel universes on the Chelsea Handler show when he was interviewed. He did say that. And Moniz said that. So now on my it's a little older video I put up on my Robots Are Calling the Shots video. Mindar is the name of the robotic Buddhist priest I was mentioning. And he is actually not in India. Mindar is not in India, but it's at a Buddhist temple in Japan. Mindar preaches the ways of Buddha to the people, and the people bow down and pray with it. India does have more low-budget makeshift motorized robots that help in the spread of Buddhism, but not like the state-of-the-art adronomous robot Mindar, not being male or female, that's in Japan, which is also one of the attributes of the Antichrist in the Bible. And it talks about how the people will worship the image of the beast. Could this beast or image be AI or hologram technology, which they can already project holograms onto clouds in the sky, like the theoretical project Bluebeam, which in the Bible it states this is how the second coming of Christ will occur. It says Jesus will come back and appear riding in a cloud. So, yeah, this is just the same old from my last video, the crazy things that are going on, and a little dabble into some horoscopes here. And this proves that, horoscopes have, validity, and astrology and all these things, and different signs and zodiac signs and stuff. They add up, and they mean stuff, and we should pay attention to them because they're going to give us an idea of what's going to happen basically in the future and during the year and whatnot. And we could break it down to daily horoscopes, to monthly, yearly, and they're all out there. They all have something to say. I'm sure they're not all right 100%, but this Chinese zodiac seems to be, the Chinese astrology here seems to be predicting some stuff pretty right. So anyway, just something to think about, and some more stuff to think about, and I wanted to get those corrections out of the way finally, so we can start with a clean slate next show, and have another subject to talk about. Who knows what it'll be. Lately I've been talking a lot about things that somehow have to do with COVID-19. It's the most biggest story right now, thing affecting our lives. I think I should be talking about it. So some people probably think I'm overdoing it, but there's different angles you can come at this from, and there's a lot of different information out there, and I'm going to try to dabble into different kind of information. I like different things and different takes on things, and not the same old, and just to get ideas going and different things that are out there. So thanks for listening, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'm trying to get some more subscribers and build it up more, and comment, like, whatever you'd like to do, and thank you for listening, and appreciate it, and stay strong out there, and be positive and diligent, and use your power, the power you have, the power you possess, to do right and to make things right. If all of us does that, keeps doing it, and people keep doing what's right, then you'll see changes start to happen, and the world will fall into line, because that's how you make things happen. That's how you change things. You put things out in the zeitgeist, and they come back, and meme magic and all this, and all this stuff, and uh, so all this stuff's taking place, and like I was mentioning before with CERN and the particle collider and everything in Geneva. Well, they just announced. I was looking at my phone, and the last couple of days, that keeps popping up on my Google feed that CERN is planning on a new collider, and it's 6 times more powerful than the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider, and it's called like the Circle Collider, and it what it does is it taps into more knowledge about dark matter. Okay, but there's some people that are saying if something goes wrong, get this. If something goes wrong with this collider, which they may not implement until like eventually 2040, but I'm sure that'll get pushed up and they'll do it before then. But if it goes wrong, basically the whole Earth could be sucked. They could create strangelets, and which will be like black holes and little things, and they'll suck all the Earth in. Okay, and the Earth will be left the size of a football field if they mess this up. And we know humans have error built in. Human error. They mess up. So let's hope they don't mess this up. And they're going to keep going with it. They're going to keep going with finding out all the answers and the Big Bang and how God did it. And they're going to do it all and try to get into dimensions and tap into all this the unseen world that the Bible talks about, the natural and then the supernatural world, the yin and the yang, the good and the bad. There's always a good and evil side to everything. So yeah, this is what we're amping up and get ready for. The future is going to be very exciting because we're going to be on the edge of our seats wondering if they'll mess up the collider they have now or something, or let something in, or cause some kind of big catastrophe to happen. So let's hope not, but I'm sure things will happen. And just like the books say, all these things must take place, and we're going to destroy the world, basically, and we're going to destroy each other, and probably be, after everything's said and done, they'll have another Genesis. Everything will be created again. They'll build it up. We'll get really smart with our technology. We'll search for things. We'll get to a point where we destroy the earth again. So, yeah, that's where we're at. And so thanks for listening. And like I said, just be on guard. And all this stuff can happen in a twinkling of an eye. And this stuff all could have happened, and we're living like the gradual end of the world. And we got 2012. We've seen the down the drain we're going since 2012. And I don't know, guys. It could have happened in that blinking of an eye, in that flashing of a twinkling of an eye. We didn't even notice it, but CERN could have, by discovering the Higgs boson, the God particle, that could have been the catalyst that starts this thing moving. So let's hope not. Let's hope we could turn it around, but and humans won't make any big mistakes with this crazy stuff that they're doing. But humans are humans, and humans are stupid. So they don't learn until it's too late, and then they try to do something about it, but you can't do anything about it. Once you open the abyss that the Bible talks about, the Bible was locked with the abyss. Well, the CERN is started up with an actual huge key. It says in the Bible, they gave you the keys to the abyss to lock it up, but CERN is opening the abyss. And I think that's what they're doing. They're opening the abyss. There's stuff going on in Antarctica right now. There in the last 5 years, 4 years, dignitaries have gone there. Uh, Neil, different, you know, people have been there. Presidents, Obama was there. Uh, a bunch of people were there. John Kerry was there. Uh, there's like all kinds of stuff. Buzz Aldrin, the spaceman, was there, and yeah, and all this is happening. They think, and what they have there is the neutrinos are moving, instead of moving up from down to down, which neutrinos have always done. The neutrinos are moving down to up. So they think they've discovered some kind of parallel world or an upside down world, a la Stranger Things, for people who watch that. I don't watch that show, but I've heard a lot about it um, through other means. But I don't have Netflix or anything like that. I'm not really a binge watcher. I don't like too much TV. Some is good, and I like old shows and Me TV with Alfred Hitchcock and different shows that are on there, The Twilight Zone and stuff. So these are the shows that are starting to take place. These things are starting to take place. So we'll see what happens. And thanks for listening, like I said, and appreciate it all. And just keep going. Just keep your head up, and we just got to keep trying to strive for better times and better ways of doing things. Because what we're doing and the things patterns we're falling into aren't working. So thanks a lot, and keep the faith, and peace out.